Right. Thank you so very much. So I'll be recording my screen and I'll be running this like a workshop. I'll be talking with you, but I will also be ensuring that whatever we talk about will be practical and not just something that we hear for hearing's sake, in the sense of I'm not here to regurgitate information that you already know. Many of us are newcomers and we are coming into the country for the first time, and we want to know how to position ourselves to look for employment. And together we are going to have a conversation. I want you to talk with me, tell me what are your challenges, and we can come to a conclusion together. It's not a one person coming here to give everybody advice arrangement. It is a conversation that we are going to have. We are going to have some conversation pointers, and what is going to happen in these conversations that we're going to have in the next 1 hour or two is that I will show us what and where my mind is going, and we will be able to like work on it together. We can say, okay, this is that, and together we have sensible conversations. And I'm hoping that you that is listening to me will be able to use what you learn here to get a job. That's it, straight up. I want you to get a job, and I want you to get a job that suits you, suits your schedule, that works well with you. And if you enter the market from here, you know exactly how to build yourself up going forwards. It's not just that you like, I'm not going to give you a job right here, but you get information that will put you in the place of employment and you can carry on from there. And usually there are no easy fixes, so nobody's going to give you, okay, these are the 3 steps to make this happen. But we can work something out together if we are really serious about it and we all are engaging as we want. And so today or tonight, I'll be talking with Princess, who will like moderate our conversation, and we'll be, talking on these issues together. And anywhere you have questions, please feel free to stop and ask questions. Anywhere you have challenges, anywhere you say, okay, I really need to understand this better, drop a message in the chat, raise your hands, because if it's difficult for me to find out or stop, I'll work really hard to carry you along. Okay, so Princess, are you there? Are you available at the moment? If you're not,
Yeah.
that's okay. All right. So um, this is the conversation we're having. And yeah, Princess, would you like to introduce yourself? And I will introduce myself as well. Together we'll
Okay,
go
sure.
back.
Hi everyone, my name is Princess and I'm a behavior consultant. I work with kids and that is it about me. So if you have questions about like working with kids or working with children, you can also ask that and I'll be happy to answer.
Right. That is very important to know. And I'm looking forward to having a conversation that is real, makes sense, and is something that each of us can relate to. Yeah. So with that out of the way, my name is Sop. I used to be a professor in Nigeria. Then I worked as a professor again in India. And I came here newly in 2022, and it's been challenging, but it has also had its own opportunities and prospects. And I have learned a lot, and I've navigated a winding job pattern, right? So part of my story, I'll be telling it to show you how, for example, having this conversation became important to me. And many of my friends who ask me these questions, that I want to tell them what I have learned and where I have made mistakes so that they can correct it. And I will also be able to say, this is what you can avoid when you enter the job market, or if you are looking for a job. This is how you plan yourself. So if you're an international student here, you're in the right place. If you are somebody that is able to work full time, you're in the right place. If you are just a landed permanent resident, you are also in the right place. If you have been in the country in the last, say, 5 years, we can all benefit from each other. And the reason why I am having this conversation is that I find that many of the things that I had to learn the hard way, I don't want people that are like me. When I say people like me, I refer to people that are coming from countries that are not Canada, very likely developing countries. And if you are here, you're from a developing country and you are worried about how to translate your skills to this place, then you're in the right place. And we are going to talk about that. We are going to give you proper strategies you can use to make sure that you get the job you are looking for. And part of the planning of the workshopping process is that we are going to have a real job. I'll call it a mock job application. So you work with me and see how, for example, I will look for a job myself. You know, if I want to look for a job and I need help, I will say, you look at how I would look for that job. If there are things I need to do, I will say, okay, see what I've done. You also do it this way. And so I'm sharing my screen at the moment. And if you can't see my screen, please let me know. But if you can see it, then perfect. Uh, this is a screen of the poster and explaining what it's all about. I will move forward. So the first thing I want to introduce is the Society for Community Empowerment and Advocacy. And if you're having some questions about how this organization came about, this organization was created to help people from developing countries, BIPOC, that is Black, Indigenous people of color that are navigating Canada, newcomers, people that are new to the country. And the idea of this organization is that we help people through building community projects and helping people with advocacy. Advocacy refers to people that have challenges in the workplace, say based on discrimination, for example. If you are facing discrimination, if you have problems with your landlord, you need support, a legal, quasi-legal support that nobody to speak for you, nobody to give you direction on how to get things. For example, if you want to apply for disability, you want to apply for some benefits, you want to understand the benefits that you're eligible for, you want to know how to apply for a childcare benefit or the affordable childcare benefit that is for permanent residents. Things that are important, let's say you're a disabled person and you want to know if you can apply for disability, all these things are things that we can help you with. So chat us on social media, check out our website, and we'll be glad to support you. I would tell Tony, who is, if you received an email, Anthony Okoro is the secretary of the organization at the moment, and he's doing the admin work. So he is going to be chatting you up when we have any projects that we want to do. But I will give you 1 minute to just check us on social media. And I will also advise that Anthony will drop all our Twitter handle, LinkedIn handle, and Instagram so that you follow us. We have updates for you on important things that are happening to the newcomer community, to Black and Indigenous people and people of color, wherever you are from. Say you are from India, you are from China, you are somebody that requires support and help and to navigate this system, and there are things that you find really challenging. You want to be on our social media. So if you type Society for Community Empowerment and Advocacy, we are on social media. We also we also have a website. So I'll give 1 minute for you to just do that. We really appreciate that. We are just launched and we have very few followership on social media. So please follow us. I will just give 1 minute for that to happen. So just follow us on social media, or if you type SOCEA, our social media, our website is, let me type it in the chat.
Uncle Sop, we can't see the social media accounts. Can you
Oh,
put it on the screen?
yes, I'm trying to put the, so this is our SOCEA.ca. That is our website. So let me look for, let me go online now. If you go to x.com, that is the new Twitter, you are going to find us there. I think that's even where we have our biggest, our longest posts. So if you just type society for community empowerment and advocacy at Strong Societies, that is what our handle is. But if you type, I'm surprised you can see, but I'm going to put it on the chat. Okay, it's already on the chat. The Instagram, the X is also on chat. I think we also have to put our LinkedIn. Let me find the LinkedIn as well. Yeah. So please follow us if you can. We really appreciate that. Yeah, so we have dropped all our chats on the social media handle in the chat. So by all means, follow us and we appreciate you so very much. So moving on, let's talk about what we are here to talk about. So please, from this point on, I want you to be able to ask questions if you have one. I want you to be able to say, I want to do something practical here. And I will advise anybody, if you are willing to say, use my information and apply for one job. You don't need to tell me much. Just skills that belong to that job. We will do it today. And if I give you these strategies, it doesn't work, then now you can sue me, but don't sue me, actually. These strategies have worked for a lot of people, and I know for sure because I use it. And I've used it to land a job for myself a lot. I've done so many jobs that some longer scale, I've had the choice because I tell people this, and I think you should also know this. Any employment you stay in, you should give yourself a time to leave. Like always move up, you know. And if you can, until you find a job that is at your skill level and speaks to the experience that you have, I think you should keep such. Basically, if you have been something before and you came into this country and you are not that, I don't think you should stop until you become that thing again. Because your skills, your who you are means something. What you have learned in life means something. And the experience you are carrying with you means something. And so I would say that you should carry this experience with you where you are going. So, Yagaze, you said you have question. Go ahead. I think you can unmute yourself. Or do you,
Okay.
if, yeah,
Yeah,
go
can
ahead.
you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so hi on the sub and hi everyone. Okay, so my question is how do you articulate your presence better? Because they say to get yourself like in the door, like to get hiring managers to see you have to lie on your resume. I knew like there's some things that you obviously exaggerate, and there are times when you get asked questions about it and you just keep it. So how do you like articulate your experience better just to
I'm
make
going to
sure
talk
that,
about, thank you so much for that question.
yeah.
That question is a very important question, and we're going to talk about it. So let me put it down. Let me write it down. I'm going to even deal with it as I'm talking, but I'm beginning here from this point because of it's really important. So how do you articulate your experience? Very important question because of we all come from different countries and we're in a new place and we're going to live here, say, until we finish our degree at least. Or if you have a desire to stay in Canada for a longer time, then you are going to stay here for as long as you want, depending on your what you want to do. And your ideas for yourself is valid. The plans you have for your life are valid. And if you have said I'm going to be in Canada for 20 years, 10 years, or permanently, you should be able to do work that is both self-fulfilling and pays you very well, is at your level, and speaks to the kind of experience that you are familiar with or you should have. And so the first thing I'll talk about is building self-confidence. And why I say this is that many people that come from developing countries, especially, have this problem with building self-confidence. We are afraid because of if you open a job description, it talks about things like the job is um, so big and so high founding, and it's not. There is hardly any job that you cannot do, except for jobs that require years of training. Let's say you can't do surgeries, for example, if you don't have medical training, but that is a specific niche profession. But I don't see how, for example, many jobs say you are looking to be a housing navigator, for example. You want to be a housing navigator. How is it that you, with your experience as somebody that have graduated from a university, cannot be a housing navigator? That is impossible. And if you see, there is hardly anybody that registered for this conference that does not have at least a BS. Many have masters. People are studying for their PhDs. Many of the jobs you can do, you have already passed like you have more than the requirements, both in age, in lived experience, and in qualification to do that job. So don't sell yourself short. Don't underestimate your ability. Your international education, your experience and resilience, what you've done so far matter. Because all of these tell a story of who you are. And I'm saying this because there are people that come here and they feel like they are going to be in a job, say construction job, for example, for a really long time. If you build a career from supervisor and you start your own thing in construction, I'm not trying to play down on that, but I'm saying that if you're a medical doctor and you come here and you find a job in, say, construction and you stick with that, that is not speaking well because your profession can actually pay you very well. And you may not even be an actual doctor here, but there are things you can do with the qualifications that you have that will make you stand out in a remarkable way from other people and will bring you that same experience and the same level of work level that you are familiar with, prestige, money, and experience, basically, that you've already garnered. You can translate them here. So whenever you go for any job, always go with utmost self-confidence. Any job you're applying for, just believe that you are bigger than the job and you should have it if you want. And so don't ever sell yourself short. That is a very big point I'm going to be harping on. And I really, really want to say that because of I've seen this in a lot of us, especially people from developing countries, they sell themselves short. They don't believe they're able to meet that particular requirement that the job is asking for because the job description is really long. And I'm saying, read the job description. Those things mean something, but they are not as difficult as they seem. And I also mentioned something about how a job, for example, will be saying you need to have this qualification, that qualification, class 5 driver's license. And some people, because of that job requirement is stating those things, they don't want to show that they can do that job. I'm saying don't let something like a class 5 driver's license stop you from applying for a job that you are very, very qualified for, or you're even overqualified for. And I will bring that experience back when we go for
Sorry,
talking.
Uncle Sob, can I interrupt?
Yeah, go ahead.
Um, yeah, I just had a question about like the not having some of the certifications they're asking for. Do
Yes.
you think like it would be a good idea to maybe mail and ask if you can get the certifications while on the job? Or are you saying like you can just apply without that? Because some people will put that it's compulsory there,
Mhm.
but if you like email, they might be willing to consider you for the job. Is that what you're suggesting?
Yeah, I'm saying both things. I'm saying that there are let's say you want to enter, say you want to do a community outreach work role or a shelter support worker role, and you are required to have done, say, first aid, for example, and you've not done it before. But you have lived experience in helping people navigate housing in where you are coming from. Take, for example, you used to support people to look for house back home. Don't use the fact that you have not done that certification and stop yourself. If you can, email them and say, will your job give me the opportunity to do this? And that is also something I've learned because many times they say somebody that needs this thing is the only person that should apply. But when you apply and you come with a lot of experience, the job can undertake to train you in that work, especially for something that requires 1 or 2 days to learn. That's basically what I'm saying. So your point to say that yes, you can apply for a position and they will train you is there. If you email, it is true. But I'm even saying that you can apply anyways and tell them how your lived experience can help you in that position and that you can even get that training while on the job. The key is always to maintain your self-confidence and not selling yourself short. Yes, Miss Mercy, go for it.
Thank you so much for putting this together. I mean, it's helping people like me. I just want to ask that you mentioned the driver's license, and of course, my own program is forestry.
Mhm.
Most of the job you'll be seeing, this is a requirement, like, and I think
Right.
it's very core to them. So when I heard it saying that just apply, I'm like, I need to ask a question about this. Do you really think it's possible?
Yes. The reason why is almost every job says you should come with a driver's license. Uh, But there are people in that organization that cannot drive. I can assure you, there is no organization here. Vancouver has a very good public bus service, and you can always use Uber to get wherever you want. And so, if a job requires you to drive, they will say, if it's a driver's job and you don't have a driver's license, you are very clearly not going to get that job. But many jobs are not driver's jobs. They need you to have a driver's license because they need you to be in meetings in short notice. So when they call for a meeting, they want you to be there in short notice. And so if you can use Uber, if you can use bus, if you're always somebody that comes on time, you fit that requirement anyway. They want you to have driver's license because they want you to be flexible. But if you are in a job that requires driver's license and somebody in that job with you has a driver's license, they can drive you to wherever you want to go. I'm saying this because I literally have a job now that said they need a class 5 driver's license and I don't have it. But I have the job. And that is because when you want to go to a place that requires you to go with a driver, there is somebody else that knows how to drive, you can pair yourself with. But if I decided that, oh, because of class 5 driver's license, I will not apply, I would not have gotten the job anyway. You get what I'm saying?
Thank you, sir.
My name is Sop. I don't, yeah, yeah, just call me
Okay, thank
Sop.
you, sir.
Okay. So build your self-confidence, believe in yourself. There is hardly anything you cannot do. And the driver's license, you can get it, especially if, for example, you already had a driver's license from where you're coming from. If you have an Indian or international driver's license, you have a driver's license from your country, just transfer it. Also do the work. But don't say, oh, I don't have a driver's license here. I will not apply for this job because I see it there. Don't self-select out of opportunity. Apply first. Answer the driver's license question when it is posed to you. But again, most jobs, you can always attach with somebody that has a driver's license. I know why I'm saying this. So build your self-confidence. You are valuable, you are intelligent, you are smarter than many people that are already doing that job. This is a secret. I'm going to tell you that almost everybody on this call is smarter than the people that are in the job that they want to do. And that is because you already come with a lot of experience and you are coming with a perspective that many people on the job don't already have. And even if you're not as smart as them, you can learn. And that is something you must always carry at the back of your mind. Always tell yourself, I can learn. What I don't know now, I can learn. There is hardly anything I cannot learn. I know that for sure. I've done many things in this life and I know I can do more, but I know that I can learn. And so when I go into a place, I go into a profession, I go into a job, I am both learning and I'm also bringing what I have. So it's a two-way street. I'm winning and I'm helping the organization win. I'm learning from them. I'm giving them what I have. It's a two-way thing. There is no job you enter into that you already know everything about it. And there is no job that you cannot add your unique experience to. So please don't sell yourself short. Believe that you can get that job and apply with confidence. We are going to go into nitty-gritties very soon. And have a plan. This is just setting the stage for what I'm going to talk about. As I told you, we're going to do some practicals here. And I really, really want to do practicals with somebody that is willing to. If you are willing to, you say, so use my own this thing, apply for one job, let's see. We are going to do it right away. And so I want to talk about categories of job, the way I think about it. And I think about it in a form of okay, so before I go into that, I have a question on the chat. It says, Princess, can you just point my attention to questions in the chat if there are any?
Sure, I will.
Okay, but somebody says if you go for a job recruitment platform, and I'll talk about this. I'll talk about job recruitment platforms because I have a different take on that. And they say, oh, do you have a class 5 driver's license? Yes or no? Just put the no. But make sure you incorporate an explanation for why you don't have that in your cover letter. And cover letters are powerful. I'm going to talk about that too. So survival jobs are things I refer to as jobs that you do to feed yourself. I did some of them when I came in. A very good survival job will be going to Embers. Many of us know about Embers, but if you don't know, Embers and vertical staffing are places downtown and organizations like them. I just use these two because I know about them very well. They are organizations that if you need something to do, let's say you come into Canada today, this morning, and tomorrow morning you want to just start doing something, and you don't mind how difficult the job is, then Ember Staffing Solution and Vertical Staffing are a place for you to go. You go there, people that need workers that will do physical labor jobs always come there and request for people. So they need you to say, offload things, bring down something, all those kind of things. That is a place for you to go. If you go there, they give you shifts, men, women, they do that. They tell you to go for some trainings, for example, traffic controller training. Those trainings are usually one day, and you see somebody on the road holding a traffic sign. Many times they are recruited by Embers or vertical staff. Those jobs, you do it outside, you don't do it inside. And many times the jobs are not easy to do. But those are what I would call survival jobs. You are doing them because you have absolutely nothing to do and you are just in the country for the first time and you need something to eat with. Sometimes they don't have shifts to give you. That is true. But again, if you have a place, there are many of those places. I have, like, I know about 6 or 7 of them. If you are looking for shifts in, say, a restaurant to clean up places, there are places that offer those kind of shifts. If you are looking for places that you can be a childminder, so people work very hard, they don't have time to be at home, you can go and put yourself there. If you are doing more physical labor, like you want to do more physical labor, Embers is there for you and all that. Those kind of jobs are not permanent. So you do it for a time. Sometimes you get a permanent shift from there because I know somebody that I advised to, gave him advice to. In fact, it's actually through vertical staffing that he went, and they gave him a shift in a place And while working at that place, so an organization needed help to dismantle their office because they were moving somewhere else. And this guy is an IT person from Nigeria. And he told me about them and I directed him to Vertical. When he went to go dismantle that place, he met the director of that firm that is moving, told them about himself, and they gave him a job to go and work for them. So people make connections, people speak to each other, and you can move into roles from one job. And this is why it's very important to not be in the house and just wait for when a permanent job calls you. If you can, use these jobs, step out, be going and be connecting with people, be talking to people. You know, things, you find them on the road, basically. You don't find, things don't happen to somebody that is inside. I always say that. Email, text message, call, but always go out. Go to this embassy place. Sometimes they will say there are no shifts. Some of my friends, I literally, I can be quite demanding. I force them out. I say, go and stay there until they give you a shift. You can come there and they say, oh, no shifts this morning. You turn around and go. Somebody walks in and says, I need a shift. I've seen somebody that is on his way leaving the place. They call him, send him a message. We have a shift for you now. And what I'm saying is, if you're at the level that you need to do a physically demanding job, because of at where you are now, there is literally no money in your pocket. You don't go out. You've been dropping CVs up and down. Nobody is calling you back. This is a path that you can follow. Right.
Uncle Sop, I have a quick question there.
Okay.
What are some alternatives for people that are not physically able to do demanding jobs, like physically demanding jobs? Like, what are some alternatives in this on this level that people can do?
Maybe the child minding. If you are somebody that can stay with children or be a nanny for some hours, there is also that kind of job. If you are somebody that can wash plates, uh, there are jobs like that. I know for sure there are cleaning jobs, and I'm saying this because of the strength level differs from based on gender issues or something like that. If you are more comfortable with doing a job that does not allow you to work really hard, then you are at the level where you just need anything, then go for the nanny positions, the cleaning up positions, the things that are not that don't require you to actually lift something. But I know that, especially vertical, you can go as far as Coquitlam, helping them offload timber is really demanding, and you are working outside and it's cold. Yeah, but I unfortunately at this level it's going to be tough on you. It's really going to be tough. So yeah, I call those survival jobs because you need them to stay alive. You just need to put food in your stomach, and you just need something coming on, and you are working hard to make connections with the outside world. A second kind of job is what I call low-level jobs, which are kind of minimum wage jobs, but are structured and are permanent. For example, if you are doing a basic admin job or you are doing a retail job, you are stocking things in a supermarket. I did that too myself. That is a very low level job. Anybody can do it. They don't need you to have a certificate or a PhD to do that kind of job. But it's a job that is also good, permanent, is based on shifts. And what I say is, don't ever keep yourself at that level for a long time. I know why I'm saying this because some people, when they come into the country, they get a shift in a big place like Walmart, and you find that 3 years later, they can't leave because instead of thinking of how to improve on their skills and look for a better job, they want to increase the shifts they do in those places. You get it? So their thinking is, I'm being paid $18 an hour, and in the end, this is how much I make. But if I get an extra shift and I work, instead of 40 hours a week, I work 80 hours, I make more money. Which, again, depending on where you are, can work. I am not saying that is a stupid idea. But I'm just saying that if you get a better job, you will do more for you earn more for less amount of physical labor. You don't need to stand for such a long time and all that. But that may be a level that you are in, especially if you are just entering the country for the first time and you need money. I did that job. I did it for a firm. It required me to stock and all that, but I did it because I needed to be going somewhere. I needed some money, and my scholarship, I didn't. It was not enough. Let me be honest. And there are people on scholarships, and they're like, "Oh, I'm on scholarship. Scholarship is king." And I'm like, even if you're on scholarship, you should be working to go out there because your scholarship is not permanent. If you are doing a PhD, it will run out when you finish. If you are doing a master's, your situation is even more dire because in 2 years, it's cutting off. So go out there and find job. Learn how to look for job. Know what a job entails. Be in the market. Understand what it means to be somebody that has a job and how to order yourself in a marketplace. And this is something else I'll say I'll call career setting jobs. Now, these are career jobs in your level, but are lower than what you are used to. So take, for example, you're an accountant in KPMG and you are in top management, or you are somewhere, you are doing a really big job in a top law firm in Nigeria or something like that. You come to Canada. If you throw in your CV for a top management level accounting job, people will not take you. They will say, oh, no, you don't have Canadian experience, blah, blah, blah. It may mean that you will first of all step back and take that entry-level Canadian experience accounting job that pays $22, so that with that Canadian experience, you can now use it to push yourself further. For people in law, it may mean just taking a job as a admin staff in like a what legal assistant, helping to just understand what is going on and carry your brain with you. Don't tie yourself to that role. Carry your brain with you. You know exactly what you are going for. You know exactly what kind of job is your level. And when you enter that entry level role, use it to learn where you can fit in. The legal assistant just pay little, but you're already within the legal field and is garnering legal experience for you. And what I'm saying is use that to throw yourself out there, you know, throw yourself out there, learn how to use that skill that you are getting to push yourself to where you want to be, you know. And I know it's not easy, but yeah, that may be what you have to do. And then we talk about proper jobs. Proper jobs are jobs that are actually at your skill level, matches your education, and fits your long-term goals for yourself. They are your intellectual side. So if you're a medical doctor, it literally means being a medical doctor here again. And so you are playing at the level that you were playing it at back home, and it's at your level. So you just grow yourself with more skills and develop yourself, just build yourself from there. I would say that out of all of this, I believe in entrepreneurship more, which is start your own thing. Start your own business or do a freelancing role. It's usually more empowering because Canada is a home of small businesses. It's going to help you if you learn how to start your own thing, you know. But again, at every of this level of job, whether survival job, low-level job, career setting job, you know what you are looking for. Don't tie yourself down somewhere. I had a friend that when his relative came into the country, I said, can they just do a nanny job while they wait for a proper job? And they're like, no, I don't want to get my brother or sister into this care job routine that many Nigerians do. You know, it ties you down and they can't think outside that level. I said, anybody that is smart can always break through every mold. And I say, even if you get a job, don't think in terms of, oh, let me increase my shifts to make more money. It tells on your health. It really can destroy the balance of your family and all that. Instead, think in terms of developing yourself further to earn more outside there. That is what I would say to that. And in all, be wise about your choices. Your situation is unique. Understand your context and make intentional decisions and adapt when it's possible. When you need to change, change. When you need to make decisions, make decisions. Get what you can where you can and begin to work yourself into a profession. And for many of us who are in non-professional occupations, I would say Canada presents for you an opportunity to start afresh. So give yourself 5 years and walk into a profession. If you want to be a nurse, go be a nurse. Like, do whatever you want, make smart choices. Do not limit yourself and always look up. So this is a place I will now enter into practical.
Okay, Uncle
But
So,
yeah,
before you enter into that, I have two questions.
yes,
So
tell
my
me.
first question is, what would be like reasonable Canadian like years? How many years of Canadian experience would you need on your CV to land a proper job? That's question one. And the second one is between like the all the levels of jobs, like from a survival job to a low skill job and all of that. How many years or months would you advise people to stay on each level? Or is it as you're able to move through the levels?
So first of all, I will say that there is no answer that is cast in stone. And what that means is that you can come into the country today and get a very good job tomorrow. It's possible. But for many people, it doesn't work like that, and you have to plan your way up. And what that means is that building on your previous experience that you had before you came into Canada is really important. Don't think that, oh, because of let's say I was a professor in Nigeria, I was teaching in Nigeria, that experience I have in Nigeria doesn't matter. No, 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 it does. It depends on how you explain it in your cover letter and how you show, especially in the kind of CV you make, that underneath it, I did this kind of thing. Let me explain. If you want to apply for a job as a fundraiser or a grant writer for a big NGO here, or even a minor NGO, it doesn't matter. And you don't put that. I don't think there's any lecturer that has not applied for a grant before. It's possible that let me not be right. But you as a lecturer, you have applied for grants before. So put it there that I was a lecturer or professor in a university in India, Nigeria, wherever. And I was the grant writer for so and so project. Put it there. It usually speaks to your ability to do that. And again, if you've done the job, if you've done any grant writing job here, whether as volunteer or for your student association, whether as actually doing the job in a proper NGO, put it there. So to directly answer your question, I think 3 months is good. Let me be practical with you. I give yourself 3 months deadlines. So if you are doing a survival job, just give yourself 3 months. In 3 months, you should be able to move out of a survival job to a low-level job at least. You should. Now, for you, if you're an international student and you are still studying, a minimum wage job may be the best for you because your schedule is not tight. And you don't have to do the minimum wage jobs. You can do housing navigator jobs, outreach worker jobs. Those are jobs at the same level. Because you can move the shifts around. Jobs that require you to do 9 to 5 may not favor you because you go to school. Jobs that allow you to work weekends are good. Usually somebody advised me choose evening jobs. That is starting from 4 p.m. to 12 a.m. so that the whole of the morning is for you to go for your lectures, go to class, do whatever you can, and then work in the night. And you as an international student, you have 24 hours, which is 3 work days, right? If your studies, your classes are Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, it gives you an opportunity to choose shifts that are Friday 4 to 12, Saturday 4 to 12, Sunday 4 to 12, right? Work with something that works with you. And as you are doing that low-level job, okay, I am doing my master's now. I'm doing this low-level job. I'll be done with my master's in 2 or 3 years, and then I can get my postgraduate work permit and I can work for full time. So you are moving from that low-level job to a career-setting job, or even going straight to a proper job if you can, if the organization you work at gives that opportunity. So take, for example, let's say you work at Amazon, for example, and you're an IT person. you're a coder, you have skill in IT, whatever it is, data analyst, whatever it is, and you are doing Amazon jobs, you are doing 18-hour jobs times 8-hour jobs times 3. You can, as you begin to make moves, apply to work in Amazon corporate in downtown. Because of you are doing a 24-hour shifts, when you have time, go and do internship. You can move from this low-level job level and jump straight to a proper job level, depending on how you carry yourself and the kind of how creative you are. But usually what will happen is that people will move from that Amazon low-level job and move to a career setting role, let's say a junior data analyst role in Amazon. That's where you very likely end up. And then you start, usually will pay 23 or 24 or 25, and then before you get to the jobs that pay like 45. So I would say give yourself 3 months or give yourself the equivalent amount of time that allows you to move careers because of your specific circumstance. If you are doing an MBA and you're working in Amazon, I would say that work around it, give yourself, oh, my MBA is finishing in 2 years. My distance is finishing in this amount of level. If you are doing a PhD, I'll become a candidate very soon, and then I can take on more jobs and I have more time. Work things around. I don't know if that answers your question, Princess.
Yes, it does. Thank you.
All right. So use your specific level and make a decision. If you already have found a job and it fits your schedule, it pays you well enough, then use that and move around so that you don't forget the principal reason for which you are here. Yes, I want to enter into the proper points. If there is any other question on this, what has happened so far, please let me know. But I want to enter the meat of the conversation now.
Sorry. So Mercy asked a question
Okay.
about working with kids and what the requirements usually are. So I think it depends on the on what job it is. So I know for educational assistants in schools, you might need to have like an EA certification and maybe, sorry about that, and first aid CPR. They usually ask for that. Um, but for if you're is a daycare, I know you need to have your ECE certificate. That's the Early Childhood Educator Certificate, First Aid CPR, common ones. And then if you're working as a BI, oh, also all of them might ask you to do a criminal record check, just generally when you're working with kids. And then if you're working as a behavior interventionist, you need first aid CPR, and then sometimes if any of these skills you have would help. And if you have experience, that also helps when you're working as a BI. So yeah. Does that answer your question, Mercy?
Thank you. Yes, thank you.
Right. So let's jump right into it. So how would I, if I find a job and I don't want to, can anybody give me a scenario that we can use to tell all of so because just using a scenario works a lot. If you want us to use, if you are not shy, you say, we can use your situation and I will look for an employment and use it to run this. I already have some offices, some things open in Indeed that I can share. And that's a job I think anybody can do. If you want us to use you, just indicate as our research project. Nothing to be shy about. If you want us to use your practical story, okay. If you don't want it, that's okay. But if anybody is willing to say, let's work with my own experience and use it to look for a job right now, I'm going to do it. Okay.
I don't understand.
What I'm asking is, if you want us to
So
use,
two people, oh sorry, two people
okay,
already put Abiodun Ibikunle and Asha. Asha said project management and Abiodun said please work with me.
okay. Well, first, let's just use the first person, Asha. So, Asha, are you studying for project management or do you have a project management certificate already?
Project manage graduate December 2024.
Okay, so you graduated December
Yeah,
2024.
project management MBA.
You have an MBA in project management. All right. So let's look at, can you see my screen? You should be seeing an Indeed screen.
Yeah.
All right. So let's see uh do you have a job you are doing at the moment?
Yes.
Okay, what is it?
Caregiving.
Okay,
Elder care.
all right. So uh these are project management roles. Can you do this one, this project senior project analyst job? Just look at it, and I know there are different forms of project management. There is IT project management, so you have to tell me which one that works for you.
Yeah, majorly in construction or anything. Anything I could do, like event organizing and all that.
Okay, so let's do uh project coordinator for Stantec. You want us to do that, or you want us? Let me just see all that Indeed has to offer. Then we'll come back. Then
Okay.
we choose one. So good. Let me do this Fraser Health because of you mentioned that you have a little health. You are doing something in
Yeah.
health. So let's pick this one. So there are many others you can pick on Indeed, but let's pick this one. So if you click on this, it tells you project coordinator apply now, and it tells you the pay, it tells you the job is full-time. So if you have, do you have the opportunity to work full-time now? Do you have your PGWP?
Yeah.
Good. So this is going to be in Surrey. And so let's read the job description. The job description of this role says that, are you passionate about innovation and digital health transformation? Well, yes. Your analytical skills and critical thinking combined with a passion for working in the healthcare industry will assure you success in this role. So, Advance is Fraser Health's largest multi-year program, which seeks to improve the way Fraser Health delivers care and the way patients experience care for better outcomes, and so on and so forth. So, what I usually go for is looking for the qualification. You see it? And what is the qualification here? Education and experience.
Mm-hmm.
It says a bachelor's degree in business. I expect since you are doing a MBA, you have a degree in business, is it?
Yeah.
You see? So you don't just have a degree in business, you have a master's degree in business. So you are clearly overqualified for this position from this perspective. But then he also says if you have a degree in computer science and all that, and also a professional certification in project management, supplemented with 2 years to 4 years recent related experience in contemporary project management, or an equivalent combination of education, training, and experience. And so this is
Yeah.
where we always point out. So it's possible, I don't think you have, do you have this already, Asha? This
No, undertaking right now, and then I have experience.
Good. So I always assume that I thought immediately you wouldn't have it because you've been in school and you just left school. So it's going to be hard to also have this. Right. So, but this is not going to stop you from getting this role if you apply for it. And I'm certain of it because this is just a certification and a master's degree is more important than this. Like having a master's degree already will take care of this in the mind of an employer. But let's keep going. So this is what he wants you to do. Ability to lead, direct, manage, and implement. Demonstrate ability to take risk. Ability to function in a highly dynamic environment. Ability to be effective in an environment subject to continuous change. Ability to operate related equipment, including applicable software. Physical ability to perform the duties of the position. So just being healthy. So I think anybody that has a project management degree can apply for this job. And anybody that's been a project manager can apply for this job. So this is going to be our case study. So I click on apply now. It takes me to Indeed application, and I have to either log in with my Google or email. And I don't know let me continue with Google. Let me see. Okay, I've not logged in with Indeed here. So I did not think that this is the account I have. But we're going to come back to this. Let's go back to we're going to do this case study for sure, but let's go back to what we were talking about, and then we'll use that to apply to this job. So how will Asha apply for this job? She will need to write a winning CV. She will need to do what? Write a winning CV. So let me log into the account so that we can use it. So just give me a moment. Just give me a So what does applying for a winning CV mean? Or having a winning CV, what does it mean? It means that you have to study the job description, highlight the skills and experiences you have that relate directly to what the job needs. And don't just tell your full story. So many of us already know this, but I will also just reiterate it for people who don't know. If a job wants you to be a project manager, your CV must say that you have been a project manager before. It must say it. If he's saying, I'm a project coordinator or a project juggernaut or a vast in project iteration or whatever you want to call it, that is not a winning CV. Why? Because as Indeed is collecting this CV now, is using AI to immediately remove CVs that don't have the work experience that mention the particular skill that they are looking for. So the HR person is not reading your CV. AI is immediately sorting the ones that don't make sense and scoring you on its own and eliminating the ones that don't meet the requirements of the job. You are not even there. Like you didn't even get a foot in the door because you didn't put that your skills immediately mean something to the job that's been applied for. If I were to apply for this job, I've been a teacher for a long time, but I'm not just going to say I'm a lecturer. I will not get it. I'm going to say I would think of the projects that I managed while working in the universities I worked for. And that is what I'm going to say, head so-and-so project. And that is what I'm going to put there. I'm not just going to put the academic job I did with teaching students because that is not needed in this profession. So they don't need your biography. They need your experience that connects with the job that you've done before. So the employer already knows when you give them your SIN that you just came into the country. So you can't even lie that you've done this job here, because of you have not. But you tell of the experience you have while coming. So experience you had managing projects in the country you are coming from, your degree in Canada, your experience in doing things with people in healthcare here are stories that you can draw from to ensure that you get a CV that at least passes the level of the AI that is picking out CVs and sorting it, and at least gets you a foot before the HR person. So yes, tailor your CV, read the job description, translate your skills, create a master CV. Creating a master CV means everything you do in life that is CVable, write it in a very big CV. And if you are going to use ChatGPT to create a CV, put that master CV into ChatGPT and say, distill my experience from this and use it to create a CV for me. Then work on it, clean it up and all that. That's how you use ChatGPT. Don't just use ChatGPT to regurgitate a CV. Many people are doing it, and it's easy to detect because I'm writing, oh, ChatGPT, give me a CV for this position. Somebody else is writing that. Three of us are sending the same CV that ChatGPT sent to us to that job. And immediately they sort the whole thing out. AI will speak to AI and they will know for sure that this is wrong because it's still the same thing that everybody's saying. But your master CV will only make ChatGPT to distill things from your master CV and then translate that skill to the context of the job that you are looking for. And then always carry a cover letter with your application. That is, put a cover letter that explains why you meet that position. Tell a very good, compelling story. Challenge them to trust you. Give me this position, I can do it. Trust me. That's what you are saying in your cover letter. And let your cover letter go with that CV. Does this make any sense? I need to get feedback. Does this make any sense? Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you so very much. I'm trying to log into this. I don't use, you may have guessed, but I don't use Firefox as my browser. So it's good. So I will log into it and then, do I have an example of a cover letter? It's a message. Yes, I do have an example of a cover letter, and I'll do all of that here. So what I want to do, I want to sign into my account so that we can use it to apply for this job. But I don't also want to slow down, so I'm tired. So you know what? Let me finish the course and then we'll come and do this so that if anybody wants to leave, they can leave and we can do it together. So that it won't be that I took so much time trying to apply for this and I just forgot about the training up to it. So yes, I also mentioned that you can use a tech tip. You can use tools like ChatGPT to polish your CV, ChatGPT make this better and all that. There's nothing wrong with that. But don't use ChatGPT to generate original CV that is entirely fake. That way, it will not be authentic. Many people are going to have the same thing, and that job is not going to pick you. Be strategic with your applications, and this is what that's a strategy, a new thing I'll teach you here today, which is that you see how Indeed I have set up this job. I will apply on Indeed and I will go back to Fraser Health career page on their website and I'll find the HR email on the career page of Fraser Health and I will send this my CV and cover letter to him or her directly. Yes, I will do that. That's how I do myself. The person that is the HR person, send your CV straight up. Make sure that is delivered and then wait 2 days, 3 days. If you don't get anything, pick up your phone, call them, send a reminder email. If you call and you don't get anything, go to that place and say, can I see so and so person? They will say, oh, it doesn't work today, it comes on Wednesdays. Come back on Wednesday. What you want to do is to make sure that at least somebody looks at your CV and gives you feedback. I've applied for jobs here that I don't get anything back. Nobody says anything to me. Did I do well? I don't know. Did I do badly? I don't know. Can you at least say, I'm sorry, I'm not moving forward with your application? Nobody says, did my CV even land? I don't know. One way to stop that is to make sure that you at least find a way to make them pay attention to you. And you can say, oh, I'm really shy. No. Persistence matters. I can tell you that for sure. Persistence matters. Don't be afraid to pick up the phone and call the organization. If you are looking for many jobs, you can check out Indeed. That is also there. Work PC is really helpful. Job Bank is also really helpful. Make sure you apply regularly. If you don't have any job, you have to ask yourself, how many applications can I do? Many people I know have had to do 30-something applications before they got their very, very first break job. Say into a stocking position, for example. Like I know somebody that applied to a particular chain of stores, almost over 30 applications. They'll just keep pumping rejection emails and they'll keep going. They'll keep going. They'll keep going. And that is how it is. But the point is, I'm sure that if you use these strategies, you are going to find somebody to reply your application. And so, Asha, I'm going to do your application, but I want us to learn everything first and then come back so that you see how we're going to do it if it is time. And that's why I don't have much slides because I really want to do the application with you. So I don't know if anybody has any question on this before I go into the interview part. Any questions on this? On calling on the phone? Any question? Okay. If I don't get any questions, then the next thing is if you get an interview, this is what you are supposed to note. And I'll give you that, which is dress up, be formal if the job requires you to be formal, and do not be formal if the job does not require you to be formal. If you are going to go for an interview for a stocking position, don't wear suit and tie. They will know that this person is out of out of sync with what we are doing here. You know, this person is way too serious for our liking. And so type out take for example, Asha, if you get a call for an interview for this role we are going to apply for, type out in a paper your vision for that role when you are going for an interview. When you go there, distribute it to the panel, say, this is what, and it's not hard to do. Just think about it and say, what will I even do in this position in the next 2 years if I'm in this position? Type it out, give it to them. Let them discuss your plan for that position at the interview stage. Always a game changer. Always a game changer. And I will say, situation, task, action, result. Every question you are going to get is going to be in tell us when you did this. Tell us when you did it. They want you to tell them stories. So always tell stories that match the particular question you are being asked. They will ask you a question, tell a story. I remember when I did this. I remember when I did that. They want to. And there is something about this story time that if you are lying and you are not a skilled liar, you find that you talk yourself into trouble. Because they will say, tell us when you had a challenging client, for example. Let's say I remember one of my interview questions when I was looking for a position to stock. Someone said, tell us when you had a challenging client. I'm like, okay, so this is what happened. And then they say, tell us what you would do if somebody is being difficult. That's the same question, but in different ways. And you can tell a story that don't match the story you were telling before, so they can immediately know that you are lying. So what I would say finally is be energetic, be you, be authentic. Show them that you fit the culture of the organization, not their own personal culture as whatever. No. Show them that you've read about the organization and you can fit their culture. So I don't think I have much to say after this because I really, really want us to go do that. Yes, I think so. So this is my conclusion. Go out there, get a job. But let's step back a bit. Let's step back a bit and let us do a job application. Let's do it together, right? So let me sign into, give me a moment to sign into this, my wonderful Indeed account that is now refusing to sign in for some reason. um, Forgive me. So I'm just trying to sign into my Indeed.
Uncle Sop, someone asked the question, how about job applications to other provinces or locations? Can one still use the present address? You can answer that, but I also can say like some places offer like relocation allowance, and then also you can put in your cover letter that you're willing to relocate for the job, like if they're open to that.
Yes, that's a very good question. So if you are applying for a role in say Coquitlam, wherever it is that you want to apply for that role at, I would say that you should go ahead, use the address you have and let them know that you are willing to go there. Usually employers are willing to support you. Yeah. So I find that if I try to sign into this with my own Google account, it's already picking me as the person that is doing the application. So this is it. Wait, this is not it. I don't know if you are willing to sign in, give me your login. Let me log into it for you, Asha, because signing
Can
it.
you apply just without logging in? Just there on the apply now?
So if I click on apply now, it just takes me to a page that I have to log in. Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
What are you seeing? Project coordinator, right?
Yes.
You see, if I click on apply now, it takes me to sign in on Indeed. And thank you for pointing that out. You know what I will do here? I'm just going to go to Fraser Basin, Fraser Health career page. So you see.
Okay. And also there is like somebody said you don't have to put your postal address or where you come from so that they're not biased on you.
Yes, you can
Some
do that if you want, but sometimes if this health is in Fraser Health and is close by, if you put that you live within the jurisdiction, that is, you live around, it helps you a lot.
Yeah, let's say you're living in Richmond and you're in Surrey and the job is in Surrey.
Yes,
You'll be automatically knocked out by your
exactly. So personally, I don't put my address when I apply for a job. So I'll say, oh, well, if he's around Vancouver, I can always enter bus. If he's in Surrey, I can enter bus if I want. In fact, I know one of our friends who works in Richmond, all the way from UBC. And I know somebody who works in the island, that is Victoria. He enters bus to downtown, enters the ferry, goes to work, comes back. He doesn't need to tell them where he's coming from, you know. You know exactly what you are looking for. So I want to look for this role here. What is this role? Project coordinator, Fraser Health. What are you coordinating here? Good. So this is what I'm saying. Project coordinator. Exactly. Sorry, today. You see, that is the job here. So they have senior project manager again. So these are related roles. Project manager. You are literally a project manager, non-clinical. So I'm saying that you can you see, these roles are not on Indeed. You see what I'm saying, Asha? So let's apply now with this. So would you give me your email? You can type it in the chat. Oh, this is not correct. It should be at Gmail, isn't it? Instead of Gmail. Is this not the correct email? It should be ashafaiz@gmail.com.
Yes, that's okay now.
Right. That was a mistake.
Yeah, typo error.
Right. So good. So you see, this is way different from what you see on Indeed. And this is why I like applying straight from the organization. And this is also a referral. If you know any phrase I want, what I'll do, I remember applying for a job and they wanted me to indicate that I got a referral and I just put a random person's name. So let's do this. What I really want to do for you is that I want to help you create a resume and a cover letter. And if I teach you how to do that, I think I've succeeded in this work. And that is helping you to draw on an experience of who you are. Yeah, any question on that? So let me give you the
No.
good. So if okay. Yeah, somebody is talking. Good. So let's talk about this now. So could you send me a personal message, drop your CV in the chat. I'll use it to create a CV for this role. But while we're at it, let's fill in this point. But in a way to help other people that are in this call, instead of just looking at what we're doing, always go to the back end, find who is the HR person. So if I say find the HR person I'm calling, you can say, where in this application can I find the HR person? You go at the back, you look. There must be somebody that the application goes to, somebody you can ask questions from. You look. If you don't see anybody, you click on the private frequently asked questions. The frequently asked questions don't show you a place that you can send an email to. What are we looking for? We're looking for an email where you can send an inquiries to or ask for what's wrong with your job and things like that. So if you go up, returning candidates, we don't have a lot of information here. Then you go to contact us, open link in new tab. If you go to contact us, so good. This is the email we are looking for, recruitment@fraserhealth.ca. So even if I apply for this role, I am going to go back and I'm going to click send an email to recruitment@fraserhealth.ca. And if I don't even see, notice that there are no phone numbers here that you can call, just that email address. If I go to that email address, I don't find what I'm looking for. I'm checking any of their social media channels. I'm sure I will find what I'm looking for. Or I will go to Fraser Health, any of the Fraser Health offices around that I know. And that is any hospital that is around or anything around that shows me this place. But I must have something beyond this portal that I will apply for. So if you send me in a private chat, your current CV that you have that has your experience, I can use it to create something for you that will use to apply for this position. You'll find that this is really important and it's really something that you have to learn. I want to also talk about, let's say, while you are waiting on that, Ibikunle also mentioned, Abiodun Ibikunle mentioned that we can use her. Is she still here? Take, for
Yeah.
example,
Yes.
yeah, actually, I would need something to work with, but I want to also address it because so that it doesn't look like I'm not.
Yeah, I'm trying to get it from my email because I'm
That's
using
okay.
my friend's laptop. I'm away from my.
That's okay. So, Ibukunle now, what kind of jobs would you be looking for?
Care job.
Right. So let's think of a random job. Where are the firms now on Indeed that give ability to do a care job? Let's talk about outreach work.
Okay.
Uncle Stop.
Yes.
Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
So if you go on like finding the human resource person of like companies, you can go on LinkedIn, like put the company name and then put like human resource or like put human because sometimes it sounds different. It might be like HR they call it or like people person or whatever. They might change.
Yes.
So like just search Fraser Health and then put like human and then it will show you like a list of people that work at Fraser Health and then you can find who you're looking for also. So you can also go that way.
Yes, that is a very good thing to. So you can find people on LinkedIn, is what she's saying, and that is very, very important. Yes, that is it. So we have a lot of rules here. So you tell me which one that strikes you. We have a homelessness outreach worker for BC Housing. We have a PT outreach worker. Anyone that strikes you, let me know. We have outreach support worker from Fraser Health. Again, we have outreach worker overdose outreach team. Is there anyone that strikes you? Anyone you think you can do?
Yeah, the outreach.
Okay, you want to do this first one for BC Housing?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So this is applying now. So what I'll go is I'll go to BC Housing. BC Housing Careers. And you see, careers, job, current job opportunities and all that. I'll click on it. View our jobs. Search for jobs. An important question I always ask myself is, take a job like this homeless outreach worker. Sometimes it pays better than the job that your name is attached to that you studied in school. Is it better now to do this one or to do that one? And I'll say, you do whatever suits you. Do whatever suits you. Do whatever sticks to you. Do whatever calls to you. You know, if you think that, oh, I can build a career out of this, then do it. So this role is in Kelowna. How far out is Kelowna again?
Kelowna is far.
I think it's really far. Are you okay with that? Let me see the other one. Let me go back. Downtown East Side. Okay, this is better. This is just downtown.
Yeah.
Because this one is for interior region. This one is for downtown East Side. So for BC Housing, it tells you what the job is. Position summary, blah, 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 blah. Candidate profile. education and experience, knowledge, skills, and ability. So let's see, what does the education require? High school diploma. You see, huh? So I'm expecting that you have more than high school diploma.
Yeah.
So that means you are qualified for this role, educationally speaking. Considerable progressive experience in working with individuals and blah, blah, blah. Sound experience in liaising with government. So all of this, I think you can do that. And just to the point that we were making, you see a valid class 5 driver's license is listed here.
Mm-hmm.
So does it mean that you will not apply for this role because you don't have a class 5? I think not.
Yes.
I think you should apply. I think you should apply. I would apply even if I don't have a class 5. So do you want us to do it? If you want us to do it, just send me a copy of your CV in a Word document, private chat on this chat right now. Attach it to the document and I will use it. Anyone that sends me first, I will do their own. And I will show you how I use tech. I can prompt ChatGPT to pull up something for you. I can look at it and review your experience and then prompt ChatGPT. So it's not a difficult thing to do.
Please forward me your email. Let me send it to your email.
Okay, do you know how to send it to the chat? It's just the same thing. If you go to the chat, if you click on the chat, there is a document that it allows you to send documents as well.
Yes, okay. I'm actually using my phone, and I think they put it on my laptop.
Okay, then I'll send you my email then. Right. So I've sent you my email in a direct message. So if you read this, they say only applications submitted online using the recruitment system will be accepted. Meanwhile, they've
Oh,
already.
okay. Is your email sopuro011?
Yes, that's it.
Yeah, 101 at Gmail. Okay.
101, yes. And so see what I'm saying again. They say if you require accommodations at any point, please contact HR_admin@bchousing.org. So make it a point to. So if I finish applying for this, what I will say is use your email and send your CV and cover letter directly to this HR email as well. Do you understand what I'm saying? Tell them, oh, I saw this role, it's looking good, and I want to apply for it.
Yeah.
And I've applied for it. How far have I gone? And attach your CV and cover letter to it. That will help them instead of having to pull the thousands of people that are looking for this job. You just go straight for what you're looking for. Yeah. So
Uncle Sab, quick question. Sorry to
yes,
interrupt you again.
go ahead.
Some job applications usually say that attaching your cover letter is optional. Would you advise that people always attach their cover letters, or if it's optional, should they just ignore it?
No, I would say attach your cover letter no matter what job you're applying for. You can never say attach a cover letter. Don't even think about it. Because a cover letter is literally saying, I can do this job very well, and here is the reason. You feel me?
Yeah,
So that's
thank you.
what a cover letter is supposed to do. Say, I can do this job very well. I really want to do this job very well. This is why I can do this job very well. Yeah. So I'm looking at my email. I don't see anybody's email yet. So If you send me an email, I'll appreciate it. But I don't want to keep people here beyond beyond the time. Okay. So, well, if I'm unable to get your this thing, I think I've come to a point that you can ask me any questions. This is just practical time now. If you have any other question, please let me know. Yeah, Ajay, go for it.
Okay. Yeah. Um, Based on experience, on Canadian experience, can
Mhm.
someone do intern app or apply for internship role to be
Yes.
able to like learn on the job?
Yes.
Is it
So
advisable?
internship and volunteer roles are ways that you get into a job market without being in the job market. So internship roles are a quasi academic, but volunteer is really key. So let's say you want to do BC housing, for example, and you've been trying to get into BC housing, you don't even know how to apply for BC housing employment. I would say, tell people in BC housing that you want to volunteer with them, right? Once you
Okay.
tell them that you want to volunteer with them, they'll give you volunteer hours. You will need to apply for a volunteer position and see if it's a job. But because it's not a job, it is not that high stakes. So you do the police check, you do the background check, you do all those things, but you will do the job, but you'll not be paid. So when you accrue a number of volunteer hours, it shows you how to work in a Canadian work environment. It shows you what to say, what to do, where to be at, and things to do. And you can use that experience to apply for jobs. You can state that, oh, I was a volunteer at so and so place, especially if you have its coordinate places. So take, for example, if you are looking for a housing outreach worker role and you put that you've been a volunteer at Atira, for example, that tells them that, oh, this person knows about this job. And many organizations need volunteers, especially NGOs. Yeah,
Okay. All right. Thank you.
right. So on the strength of that, okay, good. I've gotten one. Yes, so let me use the resume of, let me use this resume and do this work. I've gotten a resume from one person, so I'm going to use that one. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go back to that position. Can you see my screen still?
Yeah. No, I think I can't say.
Okay, let me go back to the BC housing role. Can you see the BC housing role?
Yes.
Okay, so using the CV that you sent to me,
Mm.
let me, I will link up all the job experience like this. I'll copy it out just because I want to work on the eligibility and all that. So now, as I mentioned, this CV that I will create for you now, make sure to use it to do your send to the admin role, to the admin person.
Mhm.
Mhm. So I know many people do reference available on the course. Available upon request. But if you can get your referees and there are people that are known in the community, use them already.
Okay, adding the rephrase is good, is important.
Yes. Yes. Okay. So for a job like this worker, homelessness worker, you notice that the job wants you to show more experience. You know, it wants you to show more experience
Yeah.
rather than certification. And so that's how I'm going to reorder your CV now. I see your CV starts with major qualification. I'm going to reorder it. I will show you, so don't worry yourself. Would you like me to show everybody, or do you want to say alone? But you said I should use you, so I'm showing everybody.
It's
But
okay.
if you have any problem with that, you can still say no, no pressure. Should I go ahead and show?
Yeah. Good.
Right. So see what I will change in this CV. So this is what you sent to me. I just reordered it. This is what you sent to me originally, right?
Yeah.
This is how I reordered it. And so let me insert also the page number so that they know that you are a detailed person. So good. So compassionate and dedicated support worker. You see, you didn't put house in there, so I'm just going to put house in there. And then I'm going to justify here. Seeking to contribute to PC housing. So I'm trying to make sure that it's tied to what you are looking for. So I'm putting BC housing this thing there. So I see that you've worked with Embers before. So where did Embers send you?
Aniki Women Society, First United.
Okay. Okay, I see you already mentioned it. Okay, good. Volunteer support worker, education. Let me remove this. Let me just say, let me remove this as well. So I'm going to say, mistakes 2010. I would even remove it entirely if you ask me. So do you have a class 5? I don't think you have it.
No, class 7.
Okay, good. Okay, this is very good because sometimes it means people that can work with me some money. So this is how we redo this. And I will just do this for you. So I'm going to use this CV name to apply for the role, but I want to know everything fits into 2 pages. And To make that everything fit into 2 pages. I will even remove this. Just your name is enough. Select it down. Good. Perfect. Thank you. S in 2 pages. Perfect. So let's go back to that role and apply for it. Apply now, BC Housing Careers. Wait. Wait, what happened here? You see, sometimes this thing just navigating it is an issue. I think it just logged out because of I was doing something else. Okay. This is what we are looking for. Apply for this job. Oh, you have to create a username and password. I like that. So do you want to give me, let's do Ibikunle. Password. I'm just going to put anything. What's your first name?
Similar.
Last name?
Alato.
What's your last name? What's your email?
The same ridiculous similar as in the bottom.
Can you give me your phone number?
This is
2.
604
Okay.
354
354.
7263
7
2
2
3
6 3. Okay. What's the address?
5650. Yeah, okay.
5650. Yeah, that close. Right. Right. The postcode
GPC 250.
V6T.
Yeah, but that I think it's supposed to be in capital letter.
I don't think.
GPC
What's the last one?
2C2.
Like this?
2C, C in between.
2T2.
2C, C as in computer. 2C2.
Like this?
Yeah.
Okay. That's strange. Okay, register. You've successfully registered. I agree to the terms and conditions. I want to find job on this thing. Please, yeah. Now walk.
Yeah.
So that's it. When can you start? I think next week.
Tomorrow.
Mm.
Can you put all the options?
Yes,
Okay.
I require a minimum pay of, let's put 25 there just in case. Bi-weekly. Bachelor's level degree. But wants you to put work experience. Oh, okay. I will just go and copy what's on your CV and put it. Employing. This is something. I've never seen this before. Mhm. So you can just check. Do you want them to convert members? I don't think so.
Well, of course, would they do that? I'm not sure they will do that because,
Yeah, they shouldn't, but if you give them permission to just waste time, there's no point.
of course, tell them, but they won't because he's going to. I think there is a rule that um they are going to pay embers if they want to employ us. So in that case, I'm not sure they will.
But this is usually November 2024. So I would say that
Or what is the repercussion? Because if you say no,
no, it doesn't matter.
it doesn't matter.
This should be September of 2010, right? When you got your degree.
No, that's March. March.
Okay. Okay. Mm,
Yeah.
okay. On what state was it?
In this case.
Right, graduating. Yes.
Thank you so much.
Don't think to have any state requirement here. What's the name of the school?
Adekunle Ajasin University.
So how did you learn of this job? Facing housing. No. So next. That's it. So if I submit this, what I want you to do is I'll send you the CV I've done for you. Use it and apply to the HR and add a cover letter. I will also send you a cover letter because here there is no opportunity to put in a cover letter.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's it. That's basically it. Once you do that, you call them, keep on calling them, and apply for other roles. I will even say if you take your eyes off government jobs and begin to apply for roles in organizations that are downtown is a different process altogether, and it's way easier to do. Right. So on that note, I'm going to thank everybody for joining in this call and for being a wonderful, wonderful colleague as we navigate this. This is our first conversation of this nature, and we are going to continue doing this every month. And for that, I will say